back from my trip in Japan and we had so many things to review from the Discord in my absence that I decided to split it in 3 different videos. The general things in the Discord and news like articles and stuff. Flower FAQ, because now almost everything in the Discord has to do with flowers and I don't want to mix. And a general haul of everything that I bought in Japan. And there will be 3 different videos for that. And so now this will be the flower FAQ. So let's talk about everything that has been said in the Discord by Chelsey, so official things about the flower, and now I will separate that from the general news. And so also you'll see that things keep changing and they have plans to keep changing, I guess, to keep evolving. Some are bugs and some are things they want to do better, but that means that some of my things that I said in the guides are now wrong. So you'll have to see all these FAQs, I guess, to be on top of what is doable about the flowers. That's very interesting. And as of today, since my last 2 guides, we have 2 new flowers also that I might not actually talk in this guide. And I don't know when I'll talk about that. There's still a lot that has been said about flowers. So why don't you go do your chores, whatever, and put that on the side and listen to my sweet voice telling you and confusing you about flowers even more that you might already have been. It's supposed to be unconfusing you, but I feel that there's so many things, so let's go. Hello Kitty, which is actually not the real Hello Kitty, said, one thing we know, it certain does not give equal weight to genetics from surrounding plants. A seed pops between a red tulia and a green ombre bell button. There is not a 33% chance of each possible outcome of the green bell button, the red tulia and the green tulia. Chelsey just said that she confirmed that there's not 33% chance of all possible outcomes, so I think that getting the same flower is a lot more easy than getting the transfer of types or color. Chelsey said, I've been digging up and replanting my ombres every day because I think that gives them the fertilized boost for propagation. Seems to be successful. So this is something that I was not doing before, and since she mentioned that, I've been doing. And later she mentioned that they are trying to do that we can fertilize again the ombres that we could not, and this will help with propagation but will not make another type or ombre or pattern on it or anything. Curious about the math logic with flowers. Does a newly spawned seed get established? Then it takes a choice of flower type and color from an array of possibility comprised of nearby flowers with assigned possibilities. Chelsey said, I can confirm that whether a seed spawn is a separate calculation from what the seed becomes, and believe, aka that's what the spec, but I have not seen the code, that it considers all possibilities. Chelsey has done an official flower guide. I have to say it's not as prettily made as the other ones made by the other people in the chat, but it has all the info together. It says all the different colors, shows that we cannot get gray or black flowers. It says which color cannot be made, like the white, red, yellow, sky blue and hot pink cannot be made, and it says then that it's the default color for which, and then he said how the colors can be made. Coral is orange and red. Green can actually be made with yellow and blue, even though it's one of them in color. Like violet can also be made with red and blue, even though it's one of them in colors for some things. So it's interesting. And then it says all the colors of the tints, and it says you mix white to get the tints. Then it said how to get the default, how to breed the flowers, mixing colors, getting pattern, transferring colors, transferring patterns. So that's the new thing that is officially written here. To transfer a color, combine a patterned flower of a particular color and a different type of flower any color to transfer the color to the different type. And to transferring a pattern, combine a patterned flower of a particular color and a different type of flower with the same color for a chance to transfer the pattern. I have been mistaken in what I'm doing now. Interesting. Okay. For example, if you want now to have trims in other things, for example, we only have trims on orange marigold. So you have to put orange other things around an orange marigold to transfer that to the orange others, and then these orange others can transfer the pattern, I guess, to something else. Okay, I'll talk about that later. But yes, interesting. And Meave updated with now we can plant flowers in the Gemstone Mountains. So the thing is, you need to get Poco as a resident, that you start a quest to get thistles, and then you can plant in the Gemstone Mountain. And so there's 11 plots, and Meave did also a map with all the plots and all the size of the plots. So that's another 259 places to put your flowers, which I read it's a total of 800 something to put all your flowers. That is crazy. Okay, Frederick also did some spreadsheet with all where you could put all the colors of what you're filling and where you are planting what, and what you, the checklist basically, but in numbers thing, which is like the Excel for Mac. So this is pinned in the official Discord. We'll talk about double breeding later. Nikki said, I want one giant plot with enough space for each different color of each different breed. And Chelsey said, this is my dream. I'm begging the Enviro artists. Maybe there could be a separate island somewhere where we can display all the flowers. We don't need to have anything else there than this giant rainbow field with all the colors. And I want the space to put all the pattern too on that. So honestly, yes, I want that. That would be really cool. So if Chelsey wants it, that is a step further for us to have it, I guess. And they did fix the planters that had the flowers backwards in front of the houses. Bunny said, I have a problem that I can't remember which flower it is after I plucked, if it stays in the bud stage. I mean, I don't know, we could get it back to seeing the color, and now we cannot anymore. And Chelsey said, same, I've been trying to figure out a good way for players to turn on like an inspector mode, which will make the flower name appear above when you hover over it. So when you have your whole field of just planted flowers, you have no idea which color is where. So that would be super cool if we could have that. So they're working on this. Now that the flowers are stacked, you should shovel a sprout. Can you tell what it was? Chelsey said, not as easily, no, because before it would come at the last spot, and now it's not the case. The ideal is that the name will show up in the +1 Tulia notification, but that did not make it for 1.6. So when you like +1 Tulias, hopefully we'll get a red ombre Tulia or something like that. Chelsey said that the marigold was always supposed to turn trim instead of ombre when it gets a pattern, but it was set wrong in 1.5.5, so we fixed it in 1.6.0. So now any marigold that get patterns here should be trim, not ombre. But if you got some ombre marigold, that's very rare because they are actually not possible to have, so this is cool. And Hello Kitty said, is trim available on other flowers types too? And Chelsey said, every flower has its own default pattern. Marigold is the only one that's trim at the moment. So that was still on April 4th, so like a month ago. But apparently now we have not seen for the eggverts what the pattern is, if it's trim or ombre. So Chelsey promised us another dev story. This dev story time is about something Meave said like 30 days ago apparently, and our team's reaction. Meave said, I want a sticker or a tin can hat on a knoll and have it water for me. And the people from Sunblink said things like, no spoiler Meaves, the prophecy, bless the knolls, things like that. So this is funny that she predicted almost accurately what happened. Okay, so for 1.6.1, False Calm said, and the plants still have that same stunt development bug. And Chelsey said, we didn't fix anything for 1.6.1 except the cabins and that station. Those were highest priority and meant all other issues got put aside until we got that sorted. But the goal is absolutely that progress shouldn't have slowed backtrack in any way. If it is, it's a bug. The only case I could think of is rain while you have bloom flower. There's no way for us to pluck them for you. I'm still confused of finding a second way. You should have watered first with a null, then rain, something like that, because I still find that there's a bug of returning to the stage of like before, like you pluck, you water, and then grows to bud again. I'm not sure about this, how it got fixed, because honestly for me it's still not fixed. I was actually not able to get any new color marigold for weeks, I would say, but that's normal. It's because that's the end of the event and it's not possible anymore. So I should remove all the marigold from my tests and actually make it some other flower because I was not able to bring into some colors. Chelsey said, quick correction, marigold won't be able to breed at all in 1.7. We're fixing the bug where they're currently self-propagate. So technically, marigolds were supposed to be only during the event, so they should not continue to self-propagate, and they are apparently doing that today. I still in 5.6.5. They actually still do that. I have a green one now that propagated, but I don't think we can get new colors, and the intent is that we probably will not get new colors until later, maybe, but maybe not. So CL said, so no trim transfer, no fertilizing existing flowers to get trim. And Chelsey said, pattern creation and transfer will still work. If you have a bunch of marigold, you can still fertilize them to hope that they turn trim, and you can still transfer those trims to the same color as we've seen. So meaning that I only have orange, yellow, red, lime and green, I think. Those 5 marigold colors. So I should be able to get those in trim hopefully and get those 5 colors into other flowers. But not more than that until we see something else. Marigold are supposed to propagate at all post-event. The bug is that they're still cloning themselves. You're supposed to be able to still turn them pattern, and they can still contribute to parentage, but you should only be able to get new event sprouts during the event itself. So new parentage, that means that if you have orange marigold that you want to turn another flower into orange, you can use this one, but you cannot turn this one into another color. Like, there cannot be a new sprout of marigold at the moment. I'm not reading everything, but people did not understand it that well and are mad actually that they cannot get more colors, and I did not understand that either. So then Bingo Baku said, wait, so the next time we can try to breed marigold colors again will be the next annual Color Blaze event in 2025, or is that not right? Chelsey said, I can't answer that because spoilers. So that means that probably there will be some other ways later. So something very important. Chelsey said, I actually did a big code review with one of the flower engineers yesterday, and all decision on whether or what to spawn happens from a copy of the garden state at reset. So it should not take into account any seed that also spawned that same cycle. So this is not what has been said before by Chelsey actually. So one of my guide is actually wrong. So this is exactly what you had before, like at the reset influences you for the next day, not like we have this new flower and that flowers is now next to another that can influence. No. So that's good that it's actually confirmed. So Mama's O's 2 said, I'm curious about best practices, and Chelsey shared her ideas. I keep 10 of everything just in case, also because it's a nice number and it means I see the collection progress no matter what view I'm in. I keep 1 of everything and I'm already out of not enough fertilizer, so should I go to keep 10 of everything? I have specific plots that are just for fertilizer. Like many folks, I use bell button in white or blue, since those are the first ones that appear in the fertilizer list and you don't have to scroll. I have different setup in different plots. All of my circle merry-go-round breeding happens in the main area of the merry middle fields. All of my pairs happen in the other tier 1 bed, blah blah blah. So this part here is so interesting and I was totally missing that. Bring Wish Me Mel with you when you go make fertilizers and turn all your fertilizers flowers into seed with her, and she doubles them so you get 2 times the fertilizer once you fertilize those seeds. Maybe the language is not completely correct. She meant when you compost those seeds. Okay, I never take Wish Me Mel with me because making double the seeds is not interesting for me, but if all the flowers that you wanted to compost to make fertilizer, you turn them into seeds first with Wish Me Mel, that you get double the seeds, and then you go to compost these seeds, then you get double the one. So this is the one crazy mind-blowing thing that I was missing. Thank you, Chelsey, for mentioning this. Hello Kitty said, I calculated a 2% rate for color transfer from ombres across type. That means if you have 100 open plots, each touching an ombre of one type and a solid of another, you should expect 2 successful color jumps. It works out to be 20% chances for a new seed and 10% chances within that for a color transfer. Lately, the new seed spawn rate is below 10 for me. Something isn't right. And Chelsey said, this is more or less spot on, specifically for the trim marigold transferring its pattern to a new seed. And then I'm doing some personal experiment to see if this has to do with rain. If rain makes fertilizer bud bloom, does it then lose its fertilizer bonus? That's what I'm worried it might be happening. Keep us posted, Chelsey. Hey y'all, as a heads up, we're going to be updating the way that you can get double patterns or secondary color flower. I guess secondary colored flowers are what we call double ombres or something like that. Likely in 1.7 or 1.7.5. This should make the functionality much clearer and improve accessibility / rates of income. We don't intend to increase the chances of any other flower breeding outcome. Feedback welcome. Also, this is our current prioritized list of accessibility issues with flowers. Feedback is also welcome. That was on the 25th of April, so if you want to read about that in the flowers thing, there's a lot of nice feedback from other people. Composting more than 10 things at a time, yes please. Fixing issues with fertilizer rate and rate null sprinkle hat, that I'm not sure if they have seen something that is not working. Overall number of plots / time / clicks spent managing them. Still no direct action out of this, but we're aware there are a lot. This may mean adding more teleport points closer to some of the faraway plots of Gemstone Mountains. It might mean trying to add upgrades to the watering can or fertilizer that let you do another fill at once. To be determined and open to ideas. And Chelsey also said, if we do color orders, would you expect the tints to come immediately after the base color or at the end? Like ordering everything. Like red, warm pink, and then coral blush, or red, coral yellow, and then later warm pink, blush, cream. And then people voted on that. Then Kim Gur said, I was hoping to learn if tin colors ombre can or cannot be mixed into a double ombre. There is a lot of opinion whether they can or cannot. I just want to stop chasing ghosts if not possible, thank you. Chelsey said, we are going to be changing how this works and it will 100% be possible in the future. Right now I don't actually know because I haven't sat down with an engineer and gone through the code, and the rates aren't what I'm expecting, so I assume there's some discrepancies between intentions and actuality, and I don't want to say anything that's not true. So the only interesting thing here is that you can get tin color, like you can get mint and green ombre, for example. Protosprout said, my question then becomes color restricted or all colors, same time only or cross type to double color ombre possibilities, same pattern only or cross pattern possibilities, just prepping for the questions to come, not expecting answers. Chelsey said, I don't want to give away everything, but 100% all colors. You should be able to strategically try for the exact combo you want. So mint plus periwinkle, hot pink plus peach, you name it. In the future, you'll be able to remember you can make double ombres like red and blue and red. So then you can make all of them and all the colors. So that's why there's a lot more than 1000 if you count that. So when we'll be done with all the main colors and tints and ombres and everything, then we'll all aim for double ombres. And I guess until the end of us playing this game, we'll have tons of potential experiments for things in flowers. It's not like, oh, I got all the good items, I got all the whatever, now I can put that aside. I don't think that we'll ever put the flowers aside. Rain just have growth and not fertilization / spawn rates. Dino Socks said, Chelsey, I'm just curious, what were double ombres referred to and called before they were called double ombres in the thread and before they were even discovered, if they did even have a name? And Chelsey said, we didn't refer to them much, but when we did, it was a non-default pattern. I think double is way cuter. Outside of the color names, which were going to be in the game, so I wanted to clarify ahead of time, usually just given the way language works, the stuff that sticks in a community has a tendency to be shorter, catchier, clearer, so I love seeing what evolves naturally. Also, I went to college for linguistics initially, so I'm a word nerd. This is a great example. So double ombre it is, because the community said so. That's interesting. Chelsey said, flower fixes that will be in 1.7. So sometimes she said, not making it 1.7, so maybe 1.7.5 or something like that. If a player plants a generic seed in the rain, it automatically waters it, because now now I think that the seed that is just the seed thing in the ground is actually not watered. If a player plucks a bloom in the rain, automatically waters the remaining grown flower. I think that now with the flower, if it's during the rain, maybe it does not, but if it was before the rain, you pluck it and now it thinks like it was. I don't know why it's new. If it starts to rain, don't water plots with bloomed flowers. This was preventing a player from watering the plot if they plucked a trowel the bloom after it rained. I'm still not sure I understand that. Allow pattern flowers to be fertilized. Note that this only affects the breeding rate. It does not actually apply to new patterns to the pattern flower. And just as that, you can still replant the pattern flower for it to get watered and fertilized if you want to save on fertilizer. It resets the days speed up to 0 when troweling a flower. This fixes a bug where the new flowers from breeding would skip growth states. That means that now all the new flowers that spawn will be new seeds or new sprouts and not having a new flower completely grown or at bud coming up like we've seen a lot of, unfortunately. So finally, how to get double ombres. Apparently you just need 2 ombres of these 2 colors, and people said that you could put an ombre with another not ombre that would turn in a color. So apparently not. You need 2 ombres and it sprouts a new flower that has the colors. Apparently that's it. We have been looking at crazy other things and apparently that was the intent all along, and I should start doing that, I guess. And then double breeding is a changing with 1.6.5 that I've arrived on Monday and may not make it to 1.7 either. So I'm not sure what they are changing to double breeding actually. So that was it for this flower FAQ as of 1.6.5. Everything that I've said here might still change in the future. Everything that I have said in my guides might still change in the future. I cannot do an ultimate guide because we keep having more new things all the time, so I'm not really sure. Maybe cut all my guides to how to make the new colors and transfer the patterns or something like that, and then I'll make a how to make new colors, how to transfer patterns, something like that guide. And all the FAQs that I had in my other guides, maybe I'll cut them if they're wrong. I'm not sure what I will do yet, but also as of May 1st, today, we have one new flower. It's the eggworts, something like that. It's a new egg and it comes in white and in sky, and it also apparently is a event flower. So like the marigold, it will go away after 1 month. So I highly suggest that you try to get as many color of it as soon as you can. Normally I would suggest you should try to get only the new main colors and then breed in between, but we may not have the time to do that. So as soon as you have made one, I don't know, red of these egg flower, you can remove that ombre red and put another one, and even if you have the tint ones, that will be good because you need as many chances as possible. I would actually, to be sure, remove all the plots that you are not really in a hurry to get and make as many plots as you can with these because they are very limited. We probably won't have the time to make them all like the marigolds. So if we want to make all the patterns and all the colors in 1 month, it's gonna be a lot of rush, so do it now.